This video we are going to see about sharing data between the Angular components. So we need a communication between each and every component so that it will be very effective for sharing the code, sharing the data between them. So for that we have several methods. So we will see one by one. Okay. So first thing is parent to child communication. So I am sharing your data from the parent component to the child component, which means I have a up component. This up component will be the root component. So from this root component to another newly created component is a child component. So I am sharing the data from the parent component, this app component, to the child component. So that communication we are seeing now. So for this particular purpose, parent to child communication, we are using the RT input annotation. So this decorator will be very useful for passing this value. So I will show you an example. We have a parent component, we have a child component. In the parent component, I have an HTML file. So in this HTML file, I have a app child message is equal to parent message app child closed. Okay, so here the parent message is stored as message from parent. So this will be pushed to the child component. Okay, so in the child component and the component class, I have an input value which is child message colon string. This child message will be getting populated in the child component's HTML file. Say message, instead of say message, we have the say message from parent. Okay, so what happens once I have put this message inside this and I have been using the input parameters, it will be very useful for capturing this app child will be calling this child component, right? So once the child component is called means the child message will be getting populated from here. We have the child message in the child component, but it is empty now. So I'm giving a message, parent message from parent, which will be passed on to the child message, and it will be getting populated in the child component's HTML file. So say message, simple only. I have a parent component and I have a child component. In the parent component, I have stored a message. I have been using the app child inside the parent component so that this app child will coming inside the parent component, right? So the message which will be stored in the parent components class will be getting populated and it will be sharing this data via the attribute value property menu. It is setting to the child message. How this child message is getting inside the child component means we are using the input parameter before that. So this input will get the value which is modified and stored inside this child message will get populated into the child message variable. So we will have this message in the HTML file. So say message means say message from parent will get populated easily. Okay. So data sharing will occur between the child to parent. So here I have a parent component and I have another child component. I am pushing a message from the child component. So here I have a child component plus which have a message hola mundo. So which will be there will be no HTML file. So this message has to be populated inside this parent component. For this particular purpose, we are using a view child. So through this view child only, we are getting the child component inside the parent components class. So here in the parent component class, we have in the HTML file, we have a message and app child is included here in the parent component. Likewise, we have seen in the previous one. And now we have a view child. So this view child will have a child component. So the child component's name is child. Okay. So I have a constructor, I have a message string, and inside this ng after v-unit, I am setting a message from the child message. How this child message is getting populated inside the component class means we are already getting this app child inside the parent component's HTML file. Okay, so I can access these values easily. So this message will be getting populated here. So for getting this message, we have a view child component, view child decorator. So with the view child, we have to use the after v init because after v initialization only this value will be getting populated in the parent component. So I am getting this child message and storing it in the message of the component class, which will be appearing in the HTML message. Okay. In child to parent communication, we have another possibility. So which was sharing the data via output and event parameter. Output is opposite of input. We are passing these messages from the input in the data via input, right? So here we are using the output. So from parent to child means we can easily communicate data with the help of input. But with the help of output, we cannot easily pass the value from the child to parent. For that, we need an extra support, which will be the event emitter. So with this event emitter only, we are emitting this message to the parent component. We'll show you an example. So for passing the values between the child component to the parent component, we have another thing, right? Output decorator. So taking the child component first, we have a message stored, and this message has been pushed to the parent component. So I have an output decorator which have a message event. I have created an object message event, which message event can be created with the help of a new event emitter. So through the message event, I have been emit with the help of emit method. I am emitting this message, and this send message is called from the HTML file to the help of event binding. So button click and have an send message method. So this send message method will emit this message, and this message has to be passed to the parent component. For that, what I need to do, I just need to do the app child invoke the app child component inside this parent component HTML file. Simple, right? So I'm doing the same here in the parent component HTML. I'm having a message, so I set a message. I'm invoking the app child with the help of message event. I am passing this receive message through dollar event. Okay, because I am getting it from the backwards, right? So I'm getting through the event, and inside the component class I have a empty message string, and I have a receive message method dollar event. This message is equal to dollar event, which means the message which has been sent from the child component will be emitted to the receive message method, which will be stored inside this message, and it will be getting populated in the message. Just run this example, it will be very easy only. You will get a clear idea with it. Apart from all these things, all these sharing methods, the best way of sharing data to all the components, service will be best, because we can inject the service with any components present inside the Angular application. So if I'm sending any values or getting any values from the external applications or external database or services, I can easily push this to the service class, and service will be responsible for pushing these values into the uh, uh, components. So it will be like a multiple message passing to all the components. Okay, thanks team, thanks for the support.